Hello everybody, Jordan Plays back again, and welcome to the return of Movie Talk, where today we're going to be talking about my favourite film ever made, The Dark Crystal. Let's begin! You might be asking yourself, what is The Dark Crystal about? Well, I have The Dark Crystal here on my DVD copy. That's how I watched it, by the way. The Dark Crystal is a story of... Well, it's a fantasy tale. It's got three species in it, called the Mystics, the Skeksis, and the Gelflings. And is directed and created by the man behind the Muppets, Jim Henson, and is directed also by Frank Oz, which is quite cool. And the score is done by Trevor Jones, who I've never personally heard any of his music outside of The Dark Crystal, but that music slaps, honestly. If you look it up on YouTube, it's a good listen. But, clocking in at an hour and 29 minutes, The Dark Crystal is a 1982 fantasy adventure film where you follow the adventures of a gelfling called Jen, who meets up with a gelfling called Kira, who he has a plan. He's the prophecy to fix the Dark Crystal and take the control of Thea, the world, away from the Skeksis, who are the bad guys, and they look like this sort of eagle-looking dudes. They've got like beaks and stuff. They look horrifying, honestly. And then the Skeksis, and then the Mystics, they look like little like turtle-looking things, but little snail-like sort of faces. But they're all pretty magical, and the world is again full of like different creatures and stuff like that. And honestly, the film is great. But in today's movie talk, I wanted to talk about why it's special to me, as of the time what you're watching this, I watched it last night after I came back from Wicked in London, which I'm not doing a video of. I'm probably going to do another Let's Talk on that, but for a review. But that's it. Apologies, but today, on the day you're also watching this, is my birthday, so I thought, why not talk about my favourite film and release a video of it on my birthday, to celebrate it a little bit. So, woo! If you want to send your birthday messages to me in the comments, that would be great. And if you want to thank Ed as well for editing this, that would be cool as well. But The Dark Crystal is a special film to me because I watched it for the first time on that DVD copy that I showed you just at the start of the video. I watched it for the first time in the pandemic. I bought it like just after my 18th birthday, so I've had it for a while. Because obviously the day you're watching this, I'm 22, so. But I watched it for the first time with Callum. I remember it was dark. It was a dark night, no pun intended. But we were all stuck in the house in the pandemic, and I just wanted to watch some of the things that I had bought with my birthday money, like back a little bit ago. And I thought, do you know what? I'll watch The Dark Crystal, and then I watched Labyrinth with my dad. But on different nights. But on this specific night, I watched The Dark Crystal on the big telly downstairs, which, funny enough, is the same telly that is up behind me. It's there. There we are. I watched it on that telly, but downstairs in my old house. It was like dark at night. I have to say, for all of Jim Henson's films, which if you've seen any of the Muppet ones and you've seen any of his other ones, this is quite unique. Because Labyrinth was all about a maze and you have to hunt down David Bowie. The Muppet ones are just pure family fun, in my opinion. This one, even though it is rated a PG, I wouldn't say it's like for young audiences at all. There are some sequences in the film which were a bit dark, in my opinion. So I don't recommend any young kids watching it, but well, if you want to, good luck. But the film mainly covers Jen's journey to restoring the Dark Crystal, and that's pretty much all the plot spoilers I'm going to give you, because that's pretty much all you really need to know going in. But the puppetry effects, the visual effects, like some of the like effects in this film are like insane for 1982. Like there's a sequence where the Skeksis king sort of dies, and his face like decays in on itself, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. You know, there's also ones like when the mystics die, they just turn into dust. Like they turn into little sparkles and just go off into the air. Another thing that I didn't know about this film is that basically the entire thing was filmed here in the UK, which I had no idea about until I looked up the filming locations after I saw it. But most of the outdoor shots were shot over the Scottish Highlands, with all of the like indoor set pieces being shot at the film studio that's just north of London. But they shot it at that same studio and stuff. But I didn't realise that when watching it. I thought that they had shot it all in the US, and I thought, oh, that's incredible. Though, when I found out that they shot it all here in the UK. I mean, even the concept art for the film was done by Brian Froud, and he really like brought the world to life in these pictures. And then when you watch the film, you actually see like the realization that like how they like matched that up. And my god, the film is gorgeous. It has dated a little bit, I will like say that straight up, but the film is gorgeous for 1982, which is the same year, funny enough, that Steven Spielberg made E.T. That's how old this film is. So yeah, it was made way before I was born. The music in this film absolutely slaps as well. Like it's very upbeat and very majestic. In like from what I got from it, like there are some bits where like the music does a bit of a high note and then goes back down, and like some of it is a bit creepy, some of it is a bit lighthearted, which I thought was absolutely great. And that's why I like The Dark Crystal. I think it's a fantastic film. I just wouldn't recommend any young kids seeing it because they might be a little bit terrified at some of the bits in it. Like there's a sequence where the crystal basically hypnotizes people, turns them into slaves and stuff, and like takes their essence and stuff, which then the Skeksis like drink to stay young, which is a bit horrifying for young children. But you know, the film genuinely, it was a really good time when I saw it, and it still is a good time today because, well, it's my favourite film ever. I mean, it's my #1 favourite film on Letterboxd. You know, I've seen the film like nearly like 8 times now, I think. It'd be 9 by the time you're obviously watching this video. But no, The Dark Crystal is one of my favourite films, and hands down will probably never be replaced. It is timeless, it's a classic, the puppetry effects in it are fantastic, and overall, it is a great way to get yourself into an adventure film, because if you've never seen adventure films before, like the plot moves so swiftly and so quick that effectively, you know, you don't really see the hour and a half go by. Like it's over by the it's pretty much over by the time that you you know, think you're halfway through it, which is mental, because the plot to get from A to B progresses like so quickly. Like if you're not watching it, you do actually lose bits of the plot. I'm not joking. But the film is glorious, and I have to say that because it's my favourite film of all time, I'm giving it a rating of 5 stars out of 5. Because the set design, the shots, like the places they chose for locations, the puppetry, everything about the film is marvelous, and I recommend you go and see it after you watch this video if you like what it looks like. So that's the video today on The Dark Crystal. Thank you so much for listening. But anyway, that's it from 21-year-old me, because obviously today I'm 22. So thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, then put a comment in the comment section with a smiley face. There we go. I've been Jordan Plays, and thank you for watching episode 2 of Movie Talk. Ciao!